extreme occult imagery going on in the entertainment industry, especially all the symbolism as well. This was a pretty good one for people to dig into as far as what is actually going on and what some of it represents. But I'm afraid to say there is more than this though, but I'm not about to get my channel taken down talking about it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for my daily videos. Sharing also helps the channel reach viewers who might not have actually been able to discover the channel yet. But for now, stay safe, stay well, and stay curious. Until next time.
All reactions in these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Any advice given should be treated as entertainment as well. Viewers are responsible for conducting their own research into any subjects discussed in the videos before taking any action based on the information provided.